as it is now, Nigeria runs not even a microeconomy, a mini microeconomy. We expect the small scale business to stimulate the growth of the economy, and these small scale business are being grounded majorly because of electricity. In fact, somebody wants to set up a business, before the name of the business comes up, the fact that he must buy a generator is always top of the priority. You must buy a generator, no matter how sustainable you think the electricity supply in your area is. Now you look at me, for instance, where I'm staying. The rotation is this: 12 hours on, 24 hours off. That's the rotation of light in my area. And the 12 hours that I'm supposed to have it, I could have it for just 1 hour. So there was a day the NEPA people brought bill and they met me at home. First off, when I moved in, I asked them that, can I get a meter, a prepaid meter? They said it's not available. So when you brought bill, and I asked, how did you generate this bill? It said it's estimated billing. I said, I'm learned enough to know that I would not sit here when you didn't come into my room to check what I have. How did you estimate this bill for me? And that's what a lot of business owners in this country are going through. You have a small business, and all of the little profit you are gaining, you're spending it on petrol, not even to reinvest into your business, but to sustain that business. No business will grow. So the government, if you are removing subsidy, how would Nigerians, how would the banana woman benefit from all of these things? Are they going to reinvest the money to fix the road? Are they going to channel the money into power sector? And one of the economists said if Nigeria should remove subsidy, that it will generate about 6 trillion in terms of revenues every year. That's a lot of money. So if all of these things can be reinvested into security, into infrastructure, into quality education, even if the woman does not benefit directly, the son or the child is going to school on subsidized charges. That is the benefit on its own.
Thank you. We have had all these things. We had the former vice president saying they remove phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The buses they bought for NLC are there by there. It didn't last 6 months. Do you still have labor buses around here? No. In other words, what they said they were going to do with the money saved from subsidy, we have not seen them.
Because you know what, the project was not completed, according to him. Yes, according to him. But the truth again is that
even the phases they have completed, I didn't notice it. I only saw those buses for no more than 6 months on the road.
You know what? You can't say because you bought few buses for NLC.
That solves the problem.
No, this is far from solving the problem. You know what? Let me tell you something. In Ghana, the inflation rate in Ghana is higher than this. Give you my point. Because a Ghanaian businessman is not by petrol, right? But here in Nigeria is a triple jeopardy, right? You are buying petrol. You are servicing your generator on your own, and you are still picking NEPA bills every month. Estimated, right? So what you did not consume, you still pay. So if you add all these things into a business, a small scale business, how much will remain of the profit? Mm-hmm. But the problem we are talking here is that the candidates that are talking now, yes, they are good that Atiku and the Tinubu and Cook came out to frankly tell Nigerians that subsidy cannot go again. And if you look at this year budget, they only made budget for half of the year, right? So they are thinking, because the truth again that Nigerians should know that even will fall, all the banks, as I was saying the other time, that gave money for the refinery, they were going to commission by January 20, whatever. You understand? Is they gave those loans on free market condition, because federal government will not sell crude oil to this refinery at the subsidized rate. Banks will not allow that, right? And the banks and the federal government cannot determine how much they were going to sell. So it's going to be demand and supply that will initially
market forces.
So with that one, Nigeria has no choice than facing because all the banks have invested here, federal government have invested in this venture, and that's why they are coming to tell you that we have reached a point that we will continue to subsidize on petroleum consumption. But unfortunately, the condition that they're supposed to meet, if you go and look at their previous documents, to remove subsidy, they have not been 2 or 3% met.
Exactly.
So, and that's why Nigerians, whether we like it or not, should prepare for a tougher time.
I hear you. Okay, thank you very much, Muba. Now, the issue is this. Why has the removal of subsidy become a turning point in Nigerian politics or in Nigeria, the governance in Nigeria? Two things. Because the consumption of petrol is not just only in Nigeria, but to neighbors. That is Nigeria's free fuel for neighboring countries. The first thing is that somebody should stop that, one. Then two, the living standard of the average Nigerian, when I say average Nigerian, of about 90% of Nigerians, is so low that the 250 per liter as at today is very difficult for many people to afford. Talk less of just May, 5 months away from here, that may go to up to 400 if not 500. That might lead to, hunger revolution, which nobody want to bear. No, okay. Now the question is, why must what people ask is Nigeria produce petroleum in Nigeria, and it's so expensive. But one thing they should know that we only produce the level at which we produce fuel is level it cannot be used. It's not refined. Until it is refined, you can't really call that one anything else. Now the question has always been that instead of telling us you are going to remove fuel subsidy from day one, why don't you tell us you are going to commission the construction of 2 refineries in day one, then 2 years after you remove subsidy? Okay?
Let's start from here. During the COVID-19 lockdown, there was nationwide lockdown, and it is on record that Nigeria consumes approximately 60 million barrels per day, and that was when the economy was fully operational. And then when there was COVID, there was nationwide lockdown. We're still consuming the same 60 million barrels per day. So the former president of the Senate, that's Bukola Saraki, came out to say that how come we're still consuming the same quantity when the economy was shut down, when people were not going to work, companies were not opening? What exactly is going on?
Consumption is fixed.
Now, the candidate of the APC said, when he said he's going to remove subsidy, that he cannot be subsidizing for that countries like Chad and Niger and Cameroon are consuming. That is one thing. Now, we've politicized subsidy in this country. Subsidy is an economic issue. Everywhere in the world, items are being subsidized. Education is being subsidized. The health sector is being subsidized. It is only normal. But in 2020, for the whole of 2020, we spent about 456 million on subsidy. But in 2022 January, billion rather, in 2022 January, February, March, we spent over 300 billion in just 3 months on subsidy. In fact, when we presented the budget, there's a forecast that we would spend almost 6 trillion of the budget deficit to subsidize petrol, and Nigerians are still buying for 300 naira per liter. Nigerians cannot afford diesel anymore. Some people are changing the diesel engine of their cars to petrol engine, and that definitely will have effect on the car at the end of the day. Now, when you politicize issues that are supposed to have economic dimension, then it becomes a problem. I remember when there was the Occupy Nigeria protest under former President Goodluck Jonathan, the likes of Reverend Pastor Tunde Bakare, the likes of Dino Melais, the Tinubus of this world, the what's his name, El Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, they were at the forefront, and they were saying subsidy is fraud, subsidy must go. Now they got into office and they are spending trillions on subsidy every single year. So how do we get to this point? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Like I said initially, subsidizing product only makes life easier for the citizens. But when the subsidy itself, in fact, We are celebrating the success of the Dangote refinery. It's supposed to be a shame on the government of this country that we even went to buy percentage shares in that particular company. 7.5 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, we don't have a functional large-scale refinery. It's not like we need to build all of these refineries from the scratch. We have these refineries; they are existing already. But why is it difficult for us to fix these refineries? Dangote is an investor. He's a single person. If a single person can do this in less than 4 years, what stopped the government, a whole federal government, to fix at least one refinery?
Okay, now Muyiwa, Okpa is asking the question, but before let me chip in a few things there. That the fuel importation in Nigeria is largely because we don't refine enough. Because if we refine petroleum in Nigeria,
we don't refine at all. But we are not refining at all.
Yeah, when I say at all, there are some there's some refineries.
We'll leave those ones.
Wait now. There's some refineries. No, let's look at
those ones are from the boys.
Let's look at the under
those ones are just wasting the crude oil.
Okay, exactly. Now, if we can construct or build 3 refineries, okay, 2 in addition to Dangote's refinery, are we still going to import fuel?
You are likely. Let me tell you something. Let's first calculate how many millions per barrel Dangote wants to refine in a day, and what's our consumption per day? It's still far from it.
The capacity is just 650,000. Okay.
650,000. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The idea, and I'm going to be frankly with you here, and let's negotiate and understand this. Government has no business in business. Compare this station to a government established one and see the number of staff working there. Compare the number of staff working here and compare the output, if you can justify such huge difference. 1. 2 is that we are having a very big challenge in this country. That anything subsidized is like you are paying for consumption of other countries. In Nigeria here, the borders are porous. You have to be in many borders to understand this. I've been to many. In my town, in my home state, in my own town, we have a village. We have a village that the front of the house is Nigeria and the backyard is Benin Republic. Do you understand? And you buy pepper in where you call Nigeria, and buy Maggi where you call Benin Republic.
That's intercountry.
I'm telling you, unless you understand that one, we have such a negotiator from Imeko. Anybody from Imeko go ask. Do you understand? Because when they were doing this partition of Africa, they just used to like to divide. So it's like they're dividing these two studios into two. One to the left, one to the right. So they left Benin Republic, the right Nigeria, and the same studio, and they are still operating as a studio. That's what happened. It's like this in Nigeria. It's like this in the Katsina, Jibia. You see the way this petroleum, you are subsidizing here. That's why people in my own town in Meko cannot buy fuel. But you see trailer
passing through,
being led by the guys that be into Benin Republic. Do you understand? This to be sold there. So what you are subsidizing here, do you understand?
It's being consumed in
the Republic, and they continue to blame the security operative till tomorrow. You understand? You continue it, but they will tell you they cannot be everywhere. Where you're talking of a land mass, do you understand? That's you don't know where to start from. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if you buy your full tank of what called Okada, full tank, drive to the neighboring country and the charge. Just use it small that will take you back to Nigeria. You're making your money. You're making your money. But what I'm saying is that Nigeria, because of that, Nigeria should be thinking beyond subsidy, right? The refinery at 910. So we know the case. It's like go spending money on Nigeria Airways. Nigeria Airtel for almost 100 years of the operation, we knew their capacity. But that time we continue to talk about sabotage every day. when last do you hear M10 or hear talking about sabotage? So, but continue to spend money on this refinery, you are going to lose out. There's nothing you can do to that. This social kind of business will be bureaucracy, and we compete. We are competing. We don't have the monopoly. You are competing with others. I cannot operate there. Deal with the Atiku said it 8 years ago. Do you understand that I'm going to privatize refineries? They called him all manners of names, but this is for the past 8 years you are voting billions of naira
subsidy.
No, to refineries that have not produced a liter of fuel for Nigeria. The last year budget was about 15 billion for only one Port Harcourt refinery. You understand? Because you are saying you are maintaining the staff, you are doing so. So if you look at what Nigeria is spending on this moribund refineries in the last 8 years,
we have built a new refinery.
But even if you build a new, can they operate it to make profit, to justify the essence? So because as whether you like it or not, allowing government too much whatever into business
involvement
is, you know that unless you want to use it as a social service, and the petroleum anywhere in the world is not cheap, and petroleum cannot be a social service.
Okay. Now the issue here is this: we can always blame government for negligence, in fact to the point of criminal negligence. What I mean by that is this: since 1999, the birth of the Fourth Republic, I suppose, if successive governments have been constructing one refinery each, Obasanjo was there for 8 years, he could have completed one refinery. Jonathan was there for 6 years. Jonathan was just 3.5 years. But if he had started one, Jonathan would have completed it. Then Jonathan would do another one. That's about 3. Then Buhari, this is his 8 years.
You should do 2, making 5.
5. Because the essence is that no matter what you say about smuggling, let's assume that it's thriving in the border country, because according to Muyiwana, those borders are really not. So you can really not police those borders. Now, the government have refused to do anything about this smuggling of whatever, and the people from 1999. So it's as if they are not thinking differently from the government that be on. So if we are able to bring on board maybe 2 more refineries in another 4 years, would that have solved the subsidy problem?
We have an unfortunate situation in this country. The people that are supposed to provide solutions to some of our problems are benefiting from the problems. So it's an issue of conscience and morality. If I provide this solution, I'm benefiting illegally. Would the solution or things being done properly, would it still benefit my own business interest? No. Now, the people that are pushing for subsidy to stay, whether on the surface or below it, they are benefiting from the subsidy payments. Remember, there was actually a report that indicted a lot of people in this country, even some politicians in this country, on the issue of, okay, somebody was bribed, somebody was this. I remember Mr. Integrity in the House of Representatives.
Yes.
The issue of subsidy and all of that. Till tomorrow, where exactly has there been any prosecution as regards those indicted in that particular committee that was set up? So are benefiting from the unlawful payment of the subsidy. So the question is this: why is it difficult for the country to have a functional refinery? We are the 6th largest oil producing nation on the OPEC hierarchy. In fact, as it is now, we can get so much from our crude that we have in this country that we're supposed to be number 1 or number 2 in terms of the players in oil production and circulation in the world. But look at where we are. So the question is this: the people that are working on these things, do they really want this system to work? We can talk about border. If you're not taking anything to any country, what are we talking about border for? So the basic cover in this business, I would never fold my hand and allow the bureaucracy of government and allow the bottleneck of government to wreck my business. It is very simple. So as long as government continue to hide under subsidy to steal money, to steal the commonwealth of this country, then we are not going anywhere. And all of these things that you are talking about, the gas at the top, all of these trucks that are going into other countries, the refineries or the depots in those countries, who owns those depots? It is the same people that are making laws for subsidy removal. They are the owners of the depots that those fuel are going to be offloaded in those countries. That is it. That's why they will tell you that they cannot pay money for fuel that are being consumed in Chad and Niger. That means they have the that they are consuming it there. They know it. So what are we saying?
We know they nobody is hiding, and that's why we said it, because the border
is clear.
No, as I said initially, the border is not that just defined. Do you understand? That you can easily.
The border is a paper border.
It's a paper border. Good. It's a paper border. But it's a paper border. But I think, as I said initially, looking at a government building refinery, is going to be another white elephant project.
Absolutely.
Because it's so obvious that the way they manage business in Nigeria here, and then the truth, and that is the truth. Again, tell me any business handled by government in Nigeria that have been able to tell you they have at the end of the year declare any profit. Do you understand? Business. Because of the bureaucracy, because of politics, because of, if it's we all know it's wrong. We all know. Tell me this is a competitive business we are talking about, right? We have journalists, federal government to make more money there. It's Nigerians, and say go and get me 33 liters of and fuel. Just go there because it knows the MD
and just
give me 3 or 5 rooms. You understand? You put whoever in those rooms, they eat, they do everything,
and they just go.
And the other day they go. I don't want to mention all these hotels.
Okay.
But remove their hands from it.
Okay, now following what you have just said is for everyone we are talking of consumption of fuel. It's not just car and lorries and the rest of them, but individual generators. And that also is a generator.
Yes.
Because you must buy.
And power bank.
And because of the spread. because of the
wide those are carrying power bank
for it in Nigeria. And that also affected the consumption of petrol.
Yes.
Now, when Nigerians are looking for a leader, as we're about doing now, we're not looking at, since the major candidates either agree by stopping subsidy, Nigerians have not really benefited from the savings from the removal. How are we sure that once this is done in rise of the price of petrol?
There's no government that can function if there's no public trust. The fact that you were able to convince me, let us remove all of the sentiment that surrounds our voting decision. Try to say that people actually vote not because I'm voting because you are my brother or because you are my wife or you. I know that this person can deliver. Trust someone without voting rights. The moment you can trust the person with anything, because the gap between the governed and the this person will say refinery is a scam. This person will say this and that. So the start point should be, how do we trust the politicians? It is very simple. I'm not sure there's any sector, maybe except security of late, that have consumed money as much as the power sector. There was a change in nomenclature, there was this, there was that. It still did not give us any solution. In fact, the former governor of Lagos State said any government that cannot fix power in 6 months. So there had to be a level of trust between the citizens and the government. It is easy for you to make promises on paper. It is easy for you to genuine trust that this person, Muyiwa Adeyemi, will fix power if he gets into office, not because he's attending my church.
Okay, Muyiwa, before you fix the you cannot. You let trust. Government cannot function without the trust of the people. Now, the question I want to ask based on that is, from the campaigns, the messages, actually based on trust and not on these primordial sentiments. Because if you look at the polls, I don't know how credible or not the polls are, but the trend is the man from the West. We are probably still going to that era where not credibility will be considered in the next election. People are still going to consider contestants based on other considerations. So, are we getting the right information from the campaigns that will lead to credible election that due to the choice of the
promising this and that. But we all know that there's a wide difference between. But anybody will now say that, okay, if she's promising this, I think
promise,
promises and
yes.
kind of thing. Fine, that's from the subjective point of view, and there hasn't been any consensus because of. I always love to, I think, quickly analyze static analysis. That's very inference from what dynamic. If you want to be where the harvest bidder who gets what, don't understand that they will tell you confident. So we are looking at it from if you want to be, and with the statistics that telling us we're having younger. Don't understand
people like us. Yes.
No, if for 3%.
No.
Don't understand. Some surprises. If in Nigeria we are today, even habit die hard. The new song, people, the majority of voters, don't understand that are illiterates. Don't understand here. If they are consumed the majority, then what are we talking about?
Mainland FM 98.3, the sound of Lagos. We've been listening amendments. Are there alternatives? And
money
to do it. About 3.5 years, Jonathan 6 years, Buhari 8 years. Why has we been to it? But we are looking at other areas. The big issue. Okay, how do we solve power problem, electricity problem?
But
From PSN to what now? So what happened? And they keep increasing tariff secretly, and yet darkness.
See, when people talk about government and they think governance is about election alone, they think it's about making political decisions. No. Let's start from here. When former President Olusegun Obasanjo changed the name from NEPA to PACN, a lot of us were really optimistic that things was going to get better. We had the minister then. He eventually found out that some of the companies that bidded for the right to buy was linked to him, so he had to go. And the whole idea of reviving the electricity in this country literally died with that particular individual. After then, I've seen a lot of stuff he's done. He's quite a very intelligent person. There's no economy, I would say this, there's no economy in the world that can survive without effective power generation or distribution. The people must have power. Imagine having a business and your budget every month is 3 million. That should,
yes.
You have a budget of 3 million. You are using 1.9 million to buy diesel alone. So how do you want to do it? How do you even want to improve the welfare of your staff? Because they will tell you that, come, the work you are doing, if there's no diesel, you would not have electric supply. They would buy diesel. So the moment you have a government that does not prioritize the growth of the economy, then we are not going ground. They will crumble whatever ideology they are bringing on the table. So it is very simple. Privatize power, distribution license to companies that are owned by senators. No. Let the bidding process be free. Let it be plain, let it be open, so that people that have the right ideology, there's an ideal solution. There's a real solution to all of these problems. So we can come here and speak all of the English we want to speak. If a new president comes into town and he doesn't see the need to focus on power because he has interest in importation of generator, because he's benefiting from the more the generator, the more money that goes into his account, then we'll still come back here 8 years later and still talk about power. The main reason why we don't have consistency in our GDP is because we've not encouraged the small scale businesses. Somebody would save his life and maybe get like 5 million. I want to set up a business, and the business will start going well. And you have to keep your freezer running to preserve the frozen foods in your freezer, and your generator continues to have problem. You will fold up eventually and you close shop. You've added another poor person into the league of poor people that we have in this country.
Person or poor people.
Now I'm talking about that one person that closed business. You've added the person to the league of poor people that we have.
Are employed there.
Exactly. Let's even say it's a one-man business. There's a barber, for instance, and every time he owns his generator, it affects the clipper. And at the end of the day, the clipper folds up. He closes shops. He cannot pay his rent. He cannot employ his boys. The people learning on that will go off. Exactly. So if you don't prioritize small scale businesses in your country, in a third world country, in a developing economy, we'll not go anywhere.
Okay, Muyiwa, sorry.
Yeah.
These things we seem to be looking at the we seem to be looking at the people as the main problems we have.
Well, I think we elected him,
Have we elected wrong people?
and whether we elected, but Nigerians will tell you that's the best of people at that moment. That's what they will tell you, right? So our best people we elected have not been that good, or at least for, are not good enough, at least for to justify our expectation from them. No doubt about that. Because if they had been so good about it, watching power at least got to this level, you begin to wonder that do we have people there at all? And then now, they are now talking of generating, Nigeria's capacity now of generating up to 12,000 megawatts as we are talking, if all the statistics we are getting is right.
Yes.
But they could not get left office. They were the one that appointed this bundle PSN and brought on in this discourse. You understand? And some of these discourse, they quickly set up the business. That time formed this business, their cronies and kind of thing. And the times in that business, if this government could at least terminate some of these contracts, you understand, I think it's going to get a sort of problem. So the present government are now sincerely happy with the people at disco level. So you see them working at cross purposes. They see those at disco as PDP people, and we are generating people power now. Problem that is affecting Nigeria now, because it's the government that's generating. It's the government that will transmit. Do you understand?
So you don't want to empower
This is why the discourse also. They were only making money and making money. Well, if callers are put it through now, let them tell us if they've seen in their area where any of the Genco brought transformer to improve.
No, we bought
I'm coming. Let them know. Well, it was Genco that changed our LT. That's low attention. Do you understand? So to improve power distribution in my area.
No,
so we
bought our armored cable.
I'm coming. No, let negotiation come in. I'm coming. In Lagos now we have a Keja, and we have what's it? At least we have two. At least let them call in to tell us that in my area it was our Genco that brought the transformer. So those people also they are only making money by they only so much.
And the bills are called off.
But are they also are they making investment in how to
invest? They are not investing.
So that's where we have the problem. They are working at cross purposes and they are spending so much money on generation. Do you understand? Are they blind to know
that they cannot transmit it? They cannot transmit that.
They cannot transmit it. Are they not engineers? Are they not the federal government
and the distributor? Because they are
okay. So what happens now is that we have agreed, that the voter has enough to think of.
They have enough.
Not just say I vote for this, I don't vote for this. Vote for the person who can deal with your big issues. So when we come back, we'll still go for news break, which is just 1 hour and 0. The line we use in contributing to this program is 0913-6000410. Please, when you don't make your call, let it be brief and clear. Don't insult anybody. Let the language be clean. So we'll see you after the news break.
Attention to the hustle.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Work-free days for PVC collection. Court strikes out suit against Buhari on NDDC appointment. Court fixed judgment dates for charges against Oronsaye over alleged 190 million naira fraud. CBN to sanction banks holding new naira notes. On the foreign scene, New Zealand Prime Minister Ardern announces resignation. In sports, Ogu backs Osimhen to equal Yekini's goals record. Nadal out for 8 weeks over leg injury. That is the headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
Nostalgic feeling on radio. Introducing classic hits from way back.
I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die.
Well, Nigeria will not die. We are here. We'll fix it. We'll make Nigeria work. Today we'll be looking at the big issues in the forthcoming elections. From now till the elections, we shall be looking at the issues one by one. Consideration before we decide on who you are going to vote for. So the studio line is 0913 6000410. Again, 0913. Be decent and be courteous. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
Fine. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, this is my name is Joseph from Morilo.
Joseph from Morilo, you're welcome.
Yeah. What I want to say is that, if Nigeria want change, they see the family out. Because we cannot do the same thing and expecting different results. These two parties are the same thing. So if I want to change another paper, another face, so that we can get what we want, but to continue with these two parties, my brother, you also have a unique content.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello. 0913. The calls are coming in. Hello.
Hello, and the gentleman in the studio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you have Chief Otago Adumo. Yeah, the morning, I spoke. Okay, I don't know if that lady Babalola was there about the issue of petroleum subsidy, etc. The reality is that the landed cost of petroleum products in Nigeria is higher than the cost of the administration. And the difference now will remain as the subsidy. And even if we are manufacturing here, let me tell you, West African countries have their refineries. Go to Morocco, they don't have for crude oil. Go to Nigeria, go to Equatorial Guinea here. They don't have for refineries. So I check the pump oil there is almost 250 naira. So if I was talking from anywhere in the world to Nigeria, the land costs are not below than 450 naira. That is apart from the logistic charges. So in Ghana right now, they have the refinery that is not working. They are buying for a liter for the 1,200 naira, I think we speak every day. So what I'm trying to say is that capitalism, I said it in the morning, they said it in Nigeria that they have good, they don't have good progress in business. So those things that make us first subsidiary in the face services and safety, those people say they share everything, they do something to themselves, they know they cannot run there. And now they have to report in everything. Go to the 60 sector. Ajapita was producing and Abacha. See, well, they are not very classic. But they don't know. They wanted to promote billionaires. They now close down those things and show them to themselves with contract that they cannot really revoke. You know how much we get from the that people are not on the sea country? Billions of dollars out of poor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Go to the same thing. Go to the aluminum smelting company.
Please, can you make
it is they are producing. They say no.
In 5 seconds.
Now we have to be importing all the aluminum required in Nigeria. So I will do.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, this is Mr. Patrick calling from Greece.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Your contribution.
Yeah, the other guy that that guy is too much. He has brain. That's like only there.
Thank you very much for that.
He has brain. You see, what we are passing through is that one of these candidates is a dealer of generator. And one of the candidates also mentioned in London how he go to deal with generator. So the man that has generator, do you think that he can be within Nigeria, right? Yeah. Somebody was saying at the border, he saw so many tankers passing by. He asked the customer, this tanker, where are they going? He said if he happen to ask any question about these tankers, the next 30 minutes will be removed as customer for that place. What are we talking about in this country? Look at the way you have the rate, you cannot even get life. 8 years wasted. And the police of life. And the president that is coming up now, he has a dealer of generator. We don't want a dealer of generator. Can he keep Nigeria alive?
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you very much. Okay, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening,
Pastor Ambrose.
Yes, good evening,
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Yes, I in my area here, just like was it Ope who said so? It's right there.
No, it's not.
Okay, we bought the generator with our money. I mean, we bought the transformer with our money.
I said so.
We bought the wire, the pole with our money.
Everything.
And they say we should sign that the property belongs to
Yes, exactly.
the electricity distribution company. And yet we are still being given estimated bills. If I tell you this time, as we speak now, we don't used to have light. Before they used to give us 8 hours. But for throughout the last year so this year, no light at all. And somebody is coming to tell me that somebody who spent 8 years promised me that he's coming to give me light. And promised me that he's coming to make $1. And promised me that fuel subsidy is a scam. And for 8 years, the person has been there. And someone will come and tell me it is the same thing everywhere. In fact, this government, as it is now, the God is just catching them. Because I want to see how somebody will open his eyes again and vote for this kind of government. That as we speak now, have you ever seen any government in this country when there is election that will not prepare? Even if it is palliative, they do everything possible to make sure that the people don't feel the pain. So that they can come back into this is the first time. And you still see people, they will come and they will attack you. I don't know whether some people have been defaulted or condemned to suffering. I don't know whether even if their children they are abroad, I don't know whether those children are happy. So from radio stations, they get Skype calls. People abroad are not happy because a lot of people are depending on them. I can tell you that we can do it if we have a good leader. There is nothing that is impossible. Nothing that is impossible.
You have 10 seconds.
God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Let's do some messages. Okay, take forward calls.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome to Situation Room.
Well, this is Taiwo from Abuja.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. Yes, yes.
You're welcome.
Okay. My own conclusion is that everybody should go and collect the CV and put for the person that you know that you can do it.
Okay.
And not that you will be making lamentation about everything. Because we all know that everything is already work. That's my own contribution.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Hello, Mr. Kodua.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Good evening.
Is Mr. Muyanji?
I just step out now.
Okay. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
My name is Mrs. YS. Calling from Abuja. Number one, I think exercise. Those people that find the better from Syria government cannot capable, and maybe they sold it to their clothing. As we see, we don't have to people that you know, and so that people who believe because we are not saying it's very much. They give me 1,000 naira. I want to get this thing. I saw that the people just feel like 30,000 naira. But then, we need to listen to you. Expected me. I don't have anything my look at what goes on the country. So, if this is what you are able to do, if I just say this is second, this is for those who bought it, give it a reputable company that is a better. And what is very clear, this petrol is being have now that pays subsidy, and those who should really do petrol, the special care are 50 naira, there's also 30, some 485. Why in this country? So what I know very clear, come February
25th.
I know the fourth form, and I want to say categorically, Buhari is no more going. Those 3% or 4% now, they are fed out to have a rock. So Tinubu is not Buhari.
You have 10 seconds, Mr.
That 10
Wise.
seconds I will say. Tinubu can do it, I know he can do it. Atiku, if you can do it, as well, Obi can do it. So anyone that emerge is my president. That's what I'm
Thank you
thinking.
very
Thank you,
much.
Prince Wise.
Prince Wise, thank you very much.
Let's take some messages.
Okay, let's go to the messages. This one says, in my community in Magboro, we bought our own transformer and then we had to write a letter to them dedicating the transformer to them and also pay them 2 million before they can come to install it. Nigeria is finished. Azuka from Magboro. Man, this is this is something else. Okay, this one says, okay, your guest submission is true. Okay, if your guest submission is true, why can't the ABC government in the past 8 years also issue more licenses to new discos that are not PDP to further distribute the power generation and make money for them? Labour Party and Obi all the way. Ola from Ijai. Thank you very much, Ola from Ijai. More messages coming in, more calls as well. The people on the phone line can wait. We'll attend to you people very soon. This one says the APC and the PDP are the same thing. They can't change anything good to Nigerians. Both of them have failed us heavily. Let's take sentiment and tribalism aside. Ralph from Satellite Town. Okay, thank you very much. This one says on power. what result did you expect when the person that handles power sector privatization is a power generating set investor? He did very well to make sure that it was done in a way that the power problem in Nigeria lingers on. Okay, you didn't put your name there, but thank you very much for your messages. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Charles from Fairfax.
Thank you, Charles.
90% of these people who are calling today are condemning this government. 2015, they were all campaigning for this government. They campaigned, they called Jonathan all sorts of names. Today they are complaining. They are also campaigning now. I'm from Southeast. Most of the comments, when they call, they condemn Atiku, they condemn Tinubu, they say Obi is the same. I mean, we can't play all this kind of politics here. Vote for your candidate, don't condemn anybody. He cannot fit to rule. It's only Labour Party candidate that is fit to rule Nigeria. But it was 3 months ago or 2 weeks, some weeks ago, it was the member of PDP. Now we have become a state. God will help Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Okay, more messages. While the calls are coming in, we do that, simultaneously. This one says, good evening, Mainland FM. My name is Ike Okoto from Ikorodu, and we all know that the politics that our politicians are playing in this country, let us not deceive ourselves by trying to vote with it or not. Okay, among all the party aspirants, we all know the antecedent. It is not by what they are promising us in their manifestos. We should go by their past records if we want good governance. Thank you very much, Ike.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening.
This is Shoots from Uganda.
Welcome.
I'm sorry to say that your last caller is in coward.
No.
Don't refer to. Don't call it.
I'm going to take you off. That's it. We've said it over and over again on this platform. Whatever opinion anyone shares, it is not for you to comment on. Just say your own and move on. You can't call people names on the show. It's wrong.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Doctor. Olakule here.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. For me, for power, we all know that the discourse was sold to the wrong people. So it's like trying to force a camel through the eye of the needle. So
Sorry, what do you mean by wrong people?
Because they do not have capacity. Clearly, they do not, and that's why you and I begin to buy our transformers ourselves. They don't have capacity, and that's why 60% of them have defaulted, and banks have taken them over. So they are looking for new investors to do that. But quickly, when we go to Dangote refineries, we've had 4 presidents, and he continues to give us a bit of headache, asking that why have we not been able to repair our refineries. It is only at this point that Muhammad Buhari has told you that by the end of first quarter, PH refineries will work. They've done LTI of over 10 to 15,000 hours to be able to prove that it will work. If that works, in addition to what you have with Dangote, and the licensed smaller modular refineries and all of that, I believe that we will be able to deliver fuel to Nigerians when you take out the transportation cost and all of that. Then in addition, Open talked about the cost of investing 20%. 20% investment is about 2.79 billion. You will not get a refinery for 2.79 billion. Let's get ourselves the truth. The kind of refinery you will get for 2.79 billion, maybe will be doing maybe 5,000 or 7,000 barrels per day.
So government, sorry, 2.79
billion
or pounds.
$1 billion will not get you something that will give you 5,000-60,000 thereabout. And that is a refinery that costs about 25 billion. Government NNPC Limited investing in that is a wise decision. The quick reason is that one, you will not allow any other person. Dangote cannot buy crude oil from any other person because you will agree with me that Venezuelan oil is cheaper than Nigerian oil. If you allow that, you have somebody on the board to be able to ensure that Nigeria's interest is protected. So that is how I see it in that light. So in totality, I believe that as time goes by, we'll be able to get it. But I believe that half year that we spend 6 trillion, we are going to do another half year to spend 6 trillion. So the removal of subsidy will truly start in 2023, at the beginning of 2024. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you
And have a
very
great
much,
day.
Olatimer.
Thank you very much. More messages, and this one says, this fuel issue no go kill us. Imagine me, I have fuel, but the fear of how to get another one make me park my car since yesterday. I've resorted to taking public transport. For time being, I would only drive when I'm going out with my family. I hope I'm able to jack pass on. I don't tire. Kazim from Ejibo. Back to the phone lines.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you very much.
You see, we are talking about removal subsidy. That's the way to go. One of you said it, or maybe all of you concur. It will lead us to more poverty, honestly. The privatized NEPA. See the condition NEPA is now. They spend so much money on NEPA, and they give it this year, the next question, another next year. And they are worse off as of today. If it is the government that is not accountable, that cannot tell you the amount of barrel of crude oil or the imports they are importing in a day. Is that the government you want to trust with subsidy? Hello?
Yes,
I'm with you.
We are with you.
Is that the kind of government you want to? You started as an example of Nigeria Airways. Nigeria Airways happen to be happen to have anger. The best place where aircraft are being repaired in the whole of Africa, they have worked there before. What happened to Nigeria Airways? They collapsed it. So, the way to go is only God that will help us, unless you are very structure. Even if you vote in these people, what about your constitution? What are you going to do about it? Where people commit offense and they are not deadly. Look at the issue of Boko Haram and insurgency. They arrested people. Look at the issue of the Okupe. You say you should go and pay 30 million out of about 240 something. Well, so until we read our constitution and we see that the people are talk and discuss what to do and get from all that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello. 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 Okay. Read messages.
Okay. This one says, my name is Samson from Yanopaja. Good evening to you all and the guests in the studio. The Dangote refinery being celebrated because the elite cartel are the owners. They are ready now to do away with the subsidy because they now have alternative means of defrauding the country, because most of the raw crude to their almost commissioned refinery would not be paid for. Okay. Interesting here. Okay. This one says, okay, I took this message already. Okay. I know that Tinubu can do it if elected and given a chance. Taiwo from Abule Egba. Okay. My name is Unzube from Surulere. I'm not surprised at all. Taylor Swift is right. It is me, all the problem, it is me. Okay. Ifraim from Isolo says, I salute to all moderators and I'm hearing your voices, including Fahad and Said. Okay. What we have said about the movement of petroleum products, okay, apologies, about the petroleum products across the border is the simple truth. Can such continue in this country? Back to the messages.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, Emeka calling from First.
Emeka, you are welcome.
Okay, sir. You know, in this country, with the three areas that got serious revenue from government is subsidy, one. The second one, power. The third one, security. And these three areas I called, it has got worse under this government. Can you hear me?
Well,
We are listening. We are with you.
And Nigeria cannot afford an absentee president again. We have done it in the last 8 years. It's no longer possible. Where we have an emir kind of a leader. It has gone in the past. So those who are campaigning for Tinubu, they should bury the thought. It's not possible.
They have the right.
They have their right, but they should consider Nigeria. That era of presidency says it has gone and gone forever.
Thank you.
Because one would have done better.
You have 10 seconds.
Yeah, one would have done better, but with age, and this is the same age Tinubu is, and you want him to continue. You understand? Unfortunately, those who don't believe that it will touch them, maybe when their brother become president, they will be bragging. Buhari brothers are in ID camp now in the Republic.
Okay, Emeka, thank you very much for your contribution.
So let us get good leaders.
Okay, hello.
Right?
Hello. Okay, maybe we want to take one more call before we call it the day.
Okay, we still got loads of messages
Yes,
to read actually. Okay, this one says that my name is John from Festac. The truth is that our leaders do not have the people in their mind but at hand. Until we elect leaders who love the country before we can see the dividends of democracy. Thank you very much. We're really pressed for time.
Hello. Hello. Okay, that's about all we can take for today. Essentially, thank you all who have contributed either through calls or messages to this program. As I said, from now till elections, every Thursday we're going to be looking at the big issues that should, of course, inform your choice of who you are going to vote for in the February 25th elections and the subsequent elections, because these are the challenges we have today. We look at removal of fuel subsidy. They will look at the power generation in Nigeria, how poor it has been, how they have badly affected the pulses of Nigeria and their well-being. So, okay.
Well, we'll just continue to hope that we get it right. I think our democracy is still at the trial and error stage, as much as I know Matthew Okuda would want to disagree with that. But then I would have the opportunity again to go to the polls and choose the right leaders that we think we deserve.
Okay. So tomorrow we are back again on Situation Room. Okpa will be in charge tomorrow. Then on Sunday, Political Roundtable at 6 p.m. So join us. And on all our programs, which are very entertaining, enlightening, and informative. See you. My name remains Matthew Kudwa. See you next Thursday.